this is the backside of the old mill. Taylor's Mill.
It's a historic place. So it looks like it's a bunch of little stores, right?
I'm guessing.
I mean, it is huge. Isn't the mill gigantic?
Yeah, this is really big.
You've arrived at your destination.
I think you can go in there pretty fast.
You should go in there.
Hey everybody, I'm Justin.
I'm Chris.
That's Chris, and we are about to get lost in Taylor's Mill.
Ooh, Taylor's Mill started in the early 1920s, and it was a place where people brought their textiles, and it's huge. I mean, this place is gigantic. And then it's listed on the National Register of Historic Places, but a guy came in and bought it, and he and his crew, I'm assuming, redid it and have made it into like a shopping center. So there's all kinds of neat things in here to see. There's a what's the restaurant called?
It is called
Fair House? It's behind us.
It's behind me. It's called the Fair House.
And then there's a brewery.
Yeah, there's a brewery in here. There's a model train station. Is that what you said already?
Yeah, and that's where we're gonna go get lost to today.
Yeah.
There's a rage center. I guess you can break stuff.
Yeah, I think what I was reading is that you can go in there and just actually smash things. They have things in there, sledgehammers and things like that. You can go and smash.
That'd be a fun thing to do on another
It
video.
would be kind of fun.
And then there's axe throwing.
Axe throwing.
And there's an arcade I'd kind of like to check out too. And there's supposed to be some artist galleries in here too. If we get a chance, maybe we'll walk around in there. I thought it was all inside because it's raining today and it's not good weather. So I don't know how much outside walking we want to do.
Yeah, we haven't been here before, so we're actually going to go and see. So maybe some of the entrances to the businesses are inside, but a lot of the ones that we're seeing where we're parked right here, the entrance is outside. So I don't know if you have to go outside to get to each business or if there's kind of an inside common area where there's a lot of businesses. But the first place we're going to hit is the train museum, so we're going to go check that out, and we'll see you inside.
Bye.
So the docent here was telling us about the different size trains, the different scales of trains, and they all have letters. And this one here, I mean, you could see my hand next to it. That's how tiny it was. But this one goes up like this is an N scale train. This is HO. And then O scale trains, you could see, I mean, they start to get bigger progressively as they go down. But I never realized that they made little model trains that ran that were so tiny. Those train cars right there are maybe, like the black one is maybe an inch long. The other one's maybe an inch and a half, 2 inches long. They're small, they're so tiny. I've never seen them like that before. That's so cool. That's neat.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, there's another one up there going around the top.
We do that. On weekend is a busy time for it.
Because I noticed
That's
a lot
why
of
we
the...
close on Monday and Tuesday. Sometimes we get work done in there, sometimes we don't.
So there's several displays in here that have the trains set up. There's, well, this is the first one we came across, and then there's another one over there, and then there's just several of them throughout the building. And each one of those, or many of them anyway, have these buttons that you can push. It says press to change the train schedule. So if you push the button here, you see the schedule over there change. There's a little conductor guy walking back and forth. And this one here says to push and hold for the sign, a button for the sign hanger. If you see the little billboard right there, you see he's hanging a sign. That's cool. Look at that fancy one right there with the passenger car lit up on the inside. So they have a McDonald's drive-through here. It's part of one of the train displays. And when you push the little button here, when you push the little button here, it runs the car through the McDonald's and the person takes the order. It's a trip. Watch this.
Ready?
Yeah.
McDonald's, may I help you?
Yes, can I get a double quarter pounder cheese, fries, and a clear super size?
Will that be all for today?
Yes.
534, first window, please.
These different orders. They don't have a kid.
So you can't, you can see the car coming through the other side of the drive-thru right there. And then they come to the window, they place the order on the first side, and then they come up to the window here, and then they get their order. I mean, the whole thing is just set up to where this person drives through, places the order on the far side of the building, they give the total, then the car comes around and to the pickup window where they pick up their order.
But each
It was
time is
so
a different
cool.
person.
Yeah, each time it's a different person taking, giving the order. First time it was a little kid
Ordering a Happy Meal.
ordering a Happy Meal, and now it's a guy. Sounded like an older adult ordering a cheeseburger. Yeah, I see that. So those police officers are busting, it's a drug bust right there. A little scene on in front of that building. You see the police car? What, that police officer's pointing a gun straight at that guy.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's pointing a gun at him. Huh. That's a trip. The gentleman that we were talking to when we first came in here was telling us that half of the displays that are in here, I believe there's 6 in total, that half of them were donated to the museum by the surviving spouse. So what that means basically is that if a if a gentleman had one of these displays in his home and passed away, that the wife would typically want to have the space back. One of the places back there was a garage. She wanted the garage back. She wanted to be able to put her car in the garage, so she donated that, and that's what happened with 3 of the 6 displays in here. This is a great place to bring your kids because each of the displays has a little scavenger hunt that you can go around and look at the display and find the things that they're pointing out. Like this one, for example, is a Christmas display, and so this is the scavenger hunt with all the things that you can go around the display and try to find. It's fun for the kids to try to find the things that are on the list. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. It's a good place to bring kids, and you can even book your next birthday party here. Yeah, maybe my birthday's coming up in like a week, so maybe I'll invite some people and we'll just come here and have some pizza and look at the trains.
Why is there a dinosaur?
Probably not, but
Okay, why is Godzilla in the train station?
I don't know. It says you can King Herod. I see the three wise men. So this on the list is three wise men, and I see the three wise men sitting on top of that gift box over there. No, you can run the ski lift? Alright, let's run the ski lift. Yeah. That's pretty cool. You can see the one going around the bottom there. Headed up, but then you got some skiers up there headed back down the mountain.
Is this supposed to be like the Swiss Alps?
Yeah, I think that's what he said. No. That one behind us is like the Swiss Alps. Another interesting thing too that the docent was telling us about when we first came in here was that the hobos that used to hop these trains would put signals, like chalk signals or chalk little markings on some of the buildings and some of the trestle bridges and that sort of thing to signal to the other hobos certain things about the train station, not station, but the train yard or whatever. So some of these are kind of interesting. So if they had the three markings there, like you see at the bottom, this is not a safe place. This one with the circle and the line through it, good road to follow. This U-shaped thing here, you can camp here. So this was kind of a way for them to communicate with each other regarding, you know, the train tracks and wherever they were.
It's going fast, isn't it?
Yeah. So this particular display here was supposed to be modeled after the Swiss Alps, and you can see the hill there. It's the Alp. What does that button do?
It's with polka music?
Oh, so one of these buttons here plays some. Yeah, it sounds like polka music to me. There's a band there. Maybe
guess
that's
they're
what they're supposed to be. I don't know, this is kind of a cool place. You know, I'm not really the type of person to be super into model trains and that sort of thing, but to come and watch these and see the intricacies of how they put them all together, it's neat. This would be a cool place to come and check out with your children. And yeah, I'd come here for sure. I would tell people to come here. So each one of these buildings and all the things that went into making this particular display were actually purchased in Germany. And this is supposed to be a little German town, the display. The gentleman that built this is another one of those that was donated by the spouse after he passed away. And the docent was telling us that, you know, the family still comes in, the wife still comes in on a regular basis to come and look at it. I guess just to kind of remember her husband. But yeah, this is the one that I was saying earlier was the Swiss Alp thing. So here's another button here that says run the cable, hit the button to run the cable car. Oh, there it goes. There goes the cable car. So this is kind of a fun interactive thing too for kids, that they can come and push all these buttons and see the different things happen. I mean, I'm a grown man and I'm enjoying it. Oh, good old Jägermeister. God, those days are over.
1 to 160 is the scale.
So
1 to 160.
each foot in here represents 160
60.
feet
So
of
is
real
this
life.
an actual somebody's neighborhood?
No, this is just a fictitious neighborhood, but
I want to live in it. It's nice.
they tried to light the houses. They put lights in the houses.
Yeah.
And some of the houses are like solid polymer. They're
Okay.
not hollow.
Oh, I see.
So they put lights on the outside, like little the can
Oh,
lights they put in
yeah.
your yard.
Yep. I see that. Still lights them up. This is supposed to be Lake Lure right here. That's kind of cool. This display here is American Flyer trains. And they would have been, I guess each one of the trains here kind of depicts the models as they, you know, through the years. Like they have one from 1905 to 1925, 1918 to 1947. And it's cool because you can actually operate them by pushing the button. This one actually gets going pretty quickly. It's almost scary. It looks like it's going to fall off the track, but it doesn't. This one here, I don't see anything happening with this one, so maybe that one's not functioning, but this one runs a little train come out from the bottom here in just a second. There it is. And this one here, oh, one right next to it. Sorry, seems like every time I push the button it just goes under the thing, but it'll come back here. There it is. Ooh, it's even got steam coming out of it. Wow. Come on. There it goes. Those are cool. This one here is called the Umflet display. And I was just reading it, and it's saying here that the gentleman that built this in Virginia was interested in the trains, and it took him, let's say 3 years, 2 years to build this. No, 3 years to build this display. And then once he completed building the display, that was kind of the end of it for him. He said he had more fun building it than he did actually running it afterwards. So he said he ran it about a dozen times, and that was the end of it. I'm assuming that they got rid of it at that point. That's kind of funny. I mean, 3 years to build this, and then and then right after he was done, he lost interest in it. It did a very great job. He did a nice job of it, though. So what did you think of the train museum?
I had fun. I thought it was really nice. The volunteers there were really the best part, didn't you think?
Yeah, the guys there were very informative and very friendly, and there was one gentleman that kind of walked with us as we went through the museum and told us all about the displays, and it was pretty cool. But you know, I have to say we were just a little bit disappointed because not of the train thing. The train thing was great, and they had also in there a reclaimed lumber store where you can go in and buy old pieces of wood and that sort of thing, some old barn doors and just old like house doors and stuff, and that place was really cool. But we were kind of under the impression that you could get inside of another section of the building and walk around with the different shops and that sort of thing, but we didn't see it. And we did walk up to a door that said visitor entrance, but when we got up to the door had a sign on it said by appointment only, so we didn't try to go in there. But I mean, you know, if you wanted to go do the axe throwing, that's there. The brewery was there. Was it Brewery 13 or something like that?
Stripes Brewery. It says Stripes.
Is that what it said? 13 Stripes, maybe? It was a number
I don't
associated
know.
with it. There was the restaurant, there was the arcade, the train
And
museum.
The arcade was a bar.
Yeah, the arcade actually was, it was kind of interesting because there was a bar in there. It was almost like a bar slash lounge, but it had a bunch of video games in there that you could play. So
That'd be kind of fun to
it's
go
not
at
like a
night.
little kid arcade.
Like you could go axe throwing and do the rage room
Yeah.
and get something to eat. And
Yeah, you could, I mean, if
Have a
you
good
wanted to
time.
make that an evening, it's like Chris was just saying, you can go do, you could do multiple things in there.
But everything opened at 4 or 5.
Yeah, we couldn't get into it because most everything was closed. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon right now, but pretty much everything that we saw was closed with the exception of the train station and the reclaimed lumber place. But other than that, I mean, it was pretty cool. I mean, I would definitely recommend anybody who's interested in little model trains and stuff like that, and bring the kids out and check that out. That was fun. I enjoyed it myself.
Make sure you dress warmly. It's freezing here.
Well, yeah, today, I mean, it's 45 degrees outside, but it had to be 20 degrees at least colder inside those buildings. It was freezing in those buildings. I'm sure that won't, it may be an opposite problem even in the summer. It may be sweltering in those buildings, but today was it was pretty cold.